Hello, and welcome to episode 146 of Random Encounter, the RPG Fan Podcast. You are joining us for our special E3 2018 episode, and we've got a full house of RPG Fan editors ready and willing to talk about the, maybe 3 games each of us got to see on the show floor this year. So, it was a busy year, guys, but we've got some cool stuff to talk about. So, I'm going to introduce my lovely panel of distinguished RPG aficionados. I am joined by Trent.
Hiya.
We've got Alana.
Hello.
Mike.
Mike what?
Salvato.
Hello.
Mike Solosi.
Hello.
We've got Nathan.
Hello.
Stephanie. And Liz.
Hello.
I didn't give their last names because you didn't want to.
It was a mistake putting the 2 mics next to each
other. Yeah, we got Mike. Well, we can distinguish, right? Because we've got Mike S. and then we've got Mike S. So it's really easy to.
Accent 1, accent 2, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Mike and or Ike. And in the far distance, we have RPG Fan alumnus Stephen Meyerink, who's being a little bee and playing Octopath Traveler instead of contributing to the podcast.
Video games.
Yeah.
On topic.
Yeah.
Why do you hate puppies?
He's allowed to do that. We'll let him. So we, E3 has at this point more or less come and gone. We are recording this on Thursday night of E3 week. So what's today, the 14th? Yes. And E3 is over, so we've all explored the show floor to the extent that we were able to, and it was exhausting, but E3 always is.
You're all sleepy around the table right now.
Yeah, I took a sleeping pill, so get ready for that. I'm going to be...
You're going to hear blood on the table.
About halfway through this podcast, I'm going to stop talking, and it's going to be because I'm slumped over my chair, but it's okay. It's going to be like a healthy sleep. We got to see some good stuff this year. As always, we like to get together and talk about what we thought was the coolest. We're going to look at some of our categories that we have discussed and established in previous years and try to fit the things that we did see into those and maybe get a few E3 awards decided upon. So, do we want to just go through categories, Mike? Mike S.
Mike's.
But what about you, Mike S? What do you think? No, Salvato, would you like to just start going through categories or what?
Sure.
So, I don't even remember what order we went through last year, but you've got a handy-dandy list, right?
I do have a list.
Okay.
And we're going to decide if we're still doing some of these categories or not.
Which is going to be hard because I feel like there weren't a lot of pure RPGs at the show this year. And then some of the ones that I would be interested in talking about are either not out or things that were previewed. Like in the Nintendo Direct, we saw the Xenoblade 2 prequel / standalone thing, and then Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and those are things that we like. I mean, maybe if we have do we have an award for upcoming or most anticipated or something? Because that would be the only place that we could slot stuff like that in. Otherwise, most of the stuff I saw on the show floor was non. I mean, the most of the stuff I saw outside of appointments were non-RPG things. So
yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Anyway,
Steph's honorary Xenoblade title goes to Xenoblade 2's DLC.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Second place.
Well,
so
well, just going in the order that we list them in, the last couple of years we have done a most surprising reveal.
Oh.
Okay, that's probably worth thinking about. Was that the first thing on the list?
Yeah.
Most surprising reveal. Okay.
I don't know what I would say.
I wouldn't call Smash surprising, and are we just gonna give it to anything, or does it need to be RPG?
It should be in our coverage. Yes, I'm sorry.
What was surprising?
I think the lack of surprise goes to Neo because it was just totally overshadowed by 2 other samurai games that looked really good.
We've really gone from having no samurai games to having about 8 in about 18
Yeah.
months. It's that kind of crazy overkill. For years, people wanted something I know this is going off of our non-RPGs, but we've wanted an Onimusha sequel, and we've wanted other things, and now we've had Neo, and Bushido Blade would be great, wouldn't it? But we've had Neo, and then we've got Sekiro, which is the new FromSoft game, which looks really awesome, but it looks like it's going in the direction of non-RPG, sadly, but I think the interest is very good. But yeah, Neo kind of fell flat in the middle of Sony's press conference, I felt.
I think so too. It was a brief reveal, and it was sandwiched between 2 other much more spotlight hogging kind of thing.
I mean, I know I was actually out of the room during it, but I didn't know about it till I think the next day.
I was the same way. I was just Neo 2 got revealed? And I was like, yeah.
Surprise.
No one talked about it.
And actually
forgetting it got revealed.
Yeah.
And that
That's sort of the irony of covering E3 is that like you actually kind of have a better clue of what's been revealed from home.
Mhm.
Like we're right on the floor, and sometimes it's so easy to miss things.
If I had to pick a most surprising reveal, I would probably pick maybe one of those Bethesda games. Because we did get Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield and the Wolfenstein Twins thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what besides Elder Scrolls would be in our coverage?
Is Elder Scrolls 6 surprising?
No.
I was a little surprised that they revealed it now.
Now,
Like, it's
that's
not
true.
surprising.
Yeah.
Basically just a teaser, just like
Yes.
flying.
You know what?
Because
in
there's
the
still
spirit,
fair.
in the spirit of RPGs, the fact that everybody came back to Smash Brothers, which includes a lot of RPG characters, is pretty sweet.
Okay.
What's up?
To be fair, I was surprised that Skyrim Very Special Edition for Alexa.
Oh.
There it is.
We shouldn't be surprised by that, and yet
Yeah.
Wait,
I love they made it real. That's hilarious.
Yes,
This-
that was the surprising part.
This is very selfish of me, but I think my favorite surprise of the show was the Monster Hunter World Final Fantasy XIV crossover.
Oh my god, that is really
Yeah.
cool.
No
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
post
did you not see
crossover.
anything?
No, I didn't see
No,
that.
no,
It was
well,
11,000 miles in the air.
We know it was there, but some of the Kingdom Hearts stuff was that was pretty
Mhm.
pretty dandy.
That Aqua
Pirate
has
stuff.
fallen to the darkness.
I know.
Oh,
damn it.
Damn it.
Another one.
I think the sheer amount of stuff we got on Kingdom Hearts at E3
That-
was
that's like 3
ridiculous.
different
Nearly
trailers.
every single conference
Yeah.
had Kingdom Hearts reveal, and
And especially after 14 years of radio silence.
No.
pretty much,
You
yeah,
know?
pretty blown away.
Yeah.
what do you think?
Maybe
Well,
Resi 2 remake?
We knew about that.
Oh, we did?
And,
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
And we-
also, I guess
I'm on my bad.
And we
Yeah,
don't-
no,
Yeah.
you're doing that
Leaks
before
have really
it's
taken
fun.
a lot of the steam
Yes.
out of this, haven't they?
I do think you're right. I was actually legitimately very surprised by the Monster Hunter Final Fantasy 14 thing. I just don't know that it's like.
It doesn't count. I mean, it's not a game, technically.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a
Not
game.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
It's an
The whole
I
experience.
just don't know that it was very surprising, but it's also not like an earth-shattering announcement.
Would we
Just
say
like,
Cyberpunk? Like, I don't know, did they announce
Well,
that it was going to be
Nothing
E3?
really surprising.
I think
It-
I
There
think
was,
It's not surprising we
there
knew-
were
we knew
rumblings
about the
about
game.
an unannounced science fiction RPG.
Like-
Yeah.
No, but I thought that was Starfield. Because, I mean, everyone knew about Cyberpunk for over a year.
no,
years,
well, we
yeah.
knew it existed.
Yeah,
but,
I
like,
don't that it was coming to E3. I don't think. Yeah.
I guess we got to determine if it's just a reveal or an announcement. I'm sure this is really great listening for everyone.
Yeah. The semantics of earlier years of words.
The most sort of surprising-ish, reveal-ish.
I don't have a strong feeling about that.
I think the problem is a lot of the stuff we're surprised about weren't RPGs. Because
Yeah.
if I really had to
Like-
pick most surprising, it would have been Metal Wolf Chaos, which we don't
Oh!
cover. But that's shocking as hell.
Yeah.
That's a
That was
visual.
fun, too. Michael Wilson is my president.
I think we might have to go with Skyrim on Alexa.
I mean, there was one I was talking about, like Vesperia remake. That if we didn't
No,
get that
I
leak
called
ahead
it.
of time.
I called that
It
one.
was also
Yeah, that's true.
they also found a URL for it, but I think
Like if we didn't have the URL, that would come out of left field.
I think the big surprise
Yeah.
for me on that, and I probably will bring it up again later, is the fact that it's coming so soon more than anything. Like it's coming winter
Right.
2018. I mean, that
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
February next year, maybe at the very latest.
Yeah.
But it's nice that we're getting it so quickly.
And it's on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're
So-
listening, we're worried. It's like, is it still just Xbox?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fans would have just died again,
Yeah.
all over once again.
So we get the PS3
Oh, yeah.
content only on Xbox One only. Riots.
Well, I mean, it was legit surprising to have Skyrim announced for Alexa, even if it's a joke.
It technically is a
And
surprise.
to be real.
Yeah.
It was a
I'm
surprise.
typing.
Put it down.
I'm typing it.
Type the
I'm
word.
typing it.
Do we also have to pick runners up for many of these?
If we
We
want to.
tried. I think it's
I think
I think
we just talked
did.
about
Runner-ups,
this. Yeah. We just talked about all of them, so-
refrigerators.
I think we could pick runners up later based on
Yeah.
the discussion.
I mean,
Alright,
we've
sure.
already spent.
How long?
What's 272 bars? I don't know how to read this. All right.
All right, next category.
Next is, are we still doing JRPG, WRPG?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean,
see
we
it, but I'm
can.
saying WRPG goes to Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk,
From
right?
everything I've heard.
Yeah, I think that's clear.
Their
I-
wall
yeah.
of accolades, which is just like, yeah, gaming.
In fact,
Like panning over it.
well, see, because Cyberpunk was one of those games where we did get to see a cinematic trailer at one of the major press conferences, but not many of us got to actually get a look at the game, and Trent was lucky enough to go behind closed doors and do that. So, do you think it's worthy of best WRPG?
In a word, yes.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
Nobody wants to know anything else.
Just reading the draft of Trent's preview and hearing him describe it to me earlier makes me Like my eyes widened with every sentence. Basically,
Stars
this
in
thing
the eyes.
looks.
Did your
looks
eyes fill with
stunning.
neon?
No.
His were when he came back.
When
from
he
the-
came in, he was just wide-eyed. He's just like, I messed up to tell you guys.
Yeah.
He walked in with the little statue they were giving people, and I was like, "How was it?" And he was like, he just kind of like stared off into
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
That is exactly 110% what happened.
Yeah. So what was the demo? What did they show you?
It was like 50 minutes of uncut footage showcasing one of the earlier missions from the game and a intervening side mission that came as an emergent gameplay experience. It was filled with fantastic car chases, what CD Projekt is famous for, I guess, now, which is morally grey choices that kind of impact the storyline and allow you to create your character. Awesome fact, the character's name is V, and you can create a backstory, a customizable character that is either male or female. It's not a predefined character like Geralt of Rivia.
Okay.
Ah.
So is it kind of like a shepherd? So like to use an analogy.
Absolutely, I think it's
Okay.
very much like a shepherd
Ah.
from Mass Effect.
Oh, but the thing that maybe stunned me the most was the game is entirely in first person. It's basically a first person shooter,
Mhm.
but the UI changes if you make optical upgrades to your character.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a
Oh,
section in
wow.
the demo where you meet a doctor called, I think it's just like a RIP doctor, and his name is like Zachariah or some such, and he gives you the option to give you 2 body upgrades, and there's a lengthy cutscene that basically showcases your fleshy organisms of eyes and hands being replaced and like turned into machine-like parts.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah, you see it. Like
Wow.
in fact, like there's a, yeah. You see a robotic eye on a tendril kind of come out, and then it starts going towards you, and then it opens into a prong and zooms in closer and closer, and the entire audience went ah. And then it cuts and fades to black, and then about after 2 seconds, like a red border fills the black screen, and then you see system setup go from 0 to 100%. And then the vision starts to glitch and flicker into to existence, and it goes from like a yellow hue to a prismatic hue to like your clear vision, and then you basically gain the option mechanically to zoom in where you couldn't before, and you can analyze basically objects in the environment, get their personal data, what they're weak against in terms of like combat in the game, and their personal details. It's really interesting, and it's augmented reality. It's transposed on them like a pop-up Facebook message right next to them.
You upgrade your eyes and it changes the UI. That is dope.
Oh yeah,
That's really cool.
Damn.
but for the most part, it was seamless. Is the word I'd use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking to me a little bit earlier about how when you mentioned the emergent gameplay experience. So in the demo, you said there was like a quest of some sort, and then you had an option of how to solve it. It ended in a firefight, and then as a result of that firefight, it was like several days later in the game, and then like a gang chased you down at your apartment.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff. So that's the kind of experience that happens. Like that's not necessarily scripted, but it's like a result of choices that you made
And
that led to that moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like-
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it seemed. I guess the first-person viewpoint gives a sense of immersion, and in this, it's a first-person shooter, by the way. In a la, I guess not like Dishonored, but a la like Deus Ex or any number of things that are not in our coverage. And yeah, it is exactly like you say. There are consequences to your actions, and depending on what you choose, different things happen in the gameplay environment. It seems like that.
Yeah, and weren't you saying that like there are some sort of branching dialogue, dialogue options, but they're not like binary? I go to the place, I don't go to the place, or like you suck, I love you,
Yeah, I went.
or maybe I suck, I love you, I love you, I suck. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Is that what one of the girls of the street say?
That's what I say. So.
Damn.
it's not.
RPG Fan is a family podcast.
Did you something?
Come on. I mean, we're talking about gang fights, so no big deal there, right?
Yeah, they describe. Well, that leads into it. They described it as a mature and visceral RPG. If anything, it's going to be either an MA or I don't know what the
Yeah,
AO.
It'll be
there's no
it'll
way.
be MA.
No way, unless it toned down a lot.
MA, or it'll probably be R or MA in our rating system over in the Land of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as backwards as it is.
I'm sure it'll be rated mature.
Right.
Yeah, but
18 plus, yeah.
they touted as a mature and fairly gritty experience. And man, what else happened? Like
You said the girls like in the trailer appear, right? The one like the ones with the kind of tentacly thingies.
Oh no, she doesn't appear in the trailer, but the augment that you get, you see in the trailer, which basically those mantis things that pop out of her arms while
From
she's
the main art and all that.
Yeah, from the main art. Yeah, that in part of the latter half of the demo, you see that be used in a firefight and kind of like a fairly tense situation where you can climb up on the walls using those, leap down, skewer enemies, and chop them in half in fairly bloody finishes. Sorry, family podcast. very violent
ago.
Yeah. But I think it does deserve Western RPG, at least for this year's coverage, if only for the fact that there was, in my opinion, very little that I could critique about it in that 50-minute slice.
And that's saying a lot because
Yeah.
a lot of the time you'll see a build that's either like it's unfinished or it's a vertical slice of something that doesn't really represent the full game, which perhaps that
might be the case. But
but like I mean, if you got a feel for the gameplay and everything,
it was fluid. It felt like any modern FPS shooter.
I'd love to see
At
more.
least from what I saw.
Is there like a bit of action to traversal in any way? Like you can hop over barricades?
Absolutely. There's
like climb
cover,
walls?
there's destructible environment depending on what weapons you use.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
I'm wondering, and it's supposed to be like a single player game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they didn't confirm whether it was entirely single player or multiplayer. We didn't get a chance to ask questions, but presumably yes.
Okay. I don't know, this is probably irrelevant, but a term that I've heard several times bandied about this year is spatial OS, which is like a type of server infrastructure. I forgive me if I'm like using the words incorrectly, but it's some companies that we spoke to were talking about how they were using it to like have online games where more things or like more scripts kind of are running concurrently and are like changing a world in various ways on various levels, and all of those different processors are interacting with each other. So it's not like, oh, I'm in this MMO and I have like this one instant zone and like everything that happens in that zone is processed all by one script. It's like 4 things layered over each other and each one is acting independently, which like that description doesn't really tell you much, and I don't really know what I'm talking about so much. But I'm wondering if something like Cyberpunk is the kind of game where you're seeing that kind of next gen leap in terms of how it's like handling scripts and character interactions, et cetera, et cetera. I guess what I wanted to get at kind of was like, are you pretty confident that this game will release on PS4, et cetera? Do you think it's looking more like next gen based on some of the things you've seen?
Not to interject, but I do believe CD Projekt Red have confirmed it will be this gen.
Oh, really?
In an interview.
They did today, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That is good to know. I did not know that.
So probably end of cycle, which is great, and there have been some fantastic end cycle releases.
End cycle is always great for
I mean,
systems,
look at The Last of Us, and that got ported as well to next gen, so it probably will be the same thing again.
Yeah.
I want to highlight like a specific RPG that a couple members here have played, but like and shows the power of the PS4 in particular and consoles, like God of War. God of War is visually spectacular in a way that is ridiculous in its aesthetic. Cyberpunk reminds me of that kind of polish and level of detail. Not necessarily in the same setting, entirely juxtaposed and different, but that kind of polish that's capable, as they say, of this generation at the end of a console cycle.
That's speaking personally, like that polish is something that's very important to me in gaming experiences.
I
and
really agree with that, actually.
I tend to get like really turned off by games that feel like they, like devs aren't attentive to small details, and I get really into games where it's like, I love this menu.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, they chose a great font. Like, seriously, that stuff is like,
That's
that
big.
really is huge to me. So, if Cyberpunk is as polished as you say it is, that sounds really good.
Yeah, I was very surprised by the amount of polish that was in it.
Yeah.
Considering it was, they said beta footage, I want to say.
All right.
Quote me on beta. Yeah.
Alpha.
Alpha, beta, yeah.
Well, what also, like, what contenders does it have in terms of WRPG?
Divinity.
Yeah,
was.
which in itself is a port, but at the same time, Divinity Original Sin 2 and Definitive Edition, not Enhanced Edition as the first one was called. I mean, it's already established its fan base, and porting it over to consoles is no easy feat, and it's done a pretty good job. As in, I've never played Divinity. I don't play.
They added a lot, though, right?
CRPGs. They've added lots, and we've only had a taster. So they told us at the Bandai Namco the showcase that there are 45 pages of patch notes alone for this.
Wow.
So Divinity Original Sin 2 is well over 100 hours alone, and some of these sections of the game have been expanded by another 20 or 30 hours. So I think it's for a particular kind of audience, but they do a lot. The Larian Studios do a lot to make it more accessible for people like me. So quest lines are simplified, the journal system's rewritten, the UI is simplified, and everything is explained a lot more clearly for people like me, quote unquote. So I think I wouldn't say it's a contender because it's a port. We shouldn't underestimate what it can do.
For sure.
But Divinity Original Sin 2 and Definitive Edition is definitely right up there. It's
Just for fans who are interested in that, it is a co-op game, right?
Exactly. It's couch
Me
co-op.
and Alana actually played co-op at the booth.
Yeah.
We should always celebrate our
Did you?
co-op games when they happen because it is always so much fun to have couch co-op stuff.
Especially for RPGs, it's so rare.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
as well.
Extremely rare.
Yeah.
I think that Dying Light 2 and Shadows Awakening are fair contenders for second place behind Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But I don't think that either of them really match the impact of that one. Everything I saw about it was just astounding.
I like that we're really just going on Trent's word for this. He was the only one who was actually able to see it, and I think all of us are pretty convinced that he is probably right.
Yes.
Like,
We're going to find out in a few months he's been playing us the whole time.
I'm trying not to be
he
like
plays
a
a
pretty...
pink blob.
He was paid off very
Neon
well by the
blob.
Polish government for this
He's not
endorsement.
he's not even Australian. He's just from Poland, and he's pulling one over on it. He's pulling one over on it? No.
That is me. I pull one over everyone.
Is that a
Yes.
Wait, duh.
Da.
Is that a
It's
Polish
Russian.
accent? Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay, well, I think that's probably
Details.
safe. Do you see Dostoevsky? Okay, all right.
We're in America. We've had
That's
another
done.
Russian intervention already.
Oh
Okay.
my
We can cut that out.
We're not doing
This
that.
Canadian side of the table is just
That's a rough
God.
one.
Good job. Good job. All right, I think that's fair. So, and then that would mean best JRPG, right?
Yes.
Dragon Quest XI, please.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest XI.
I will agree.
Not Kingdom Hearts.
No.
No.
Well, I think the
Wow,
prize.
we're not even going to discuss
So-
Kingdom
No,
Hearts?
it's not, and it's not.
Well,
We
As
can't.
the sort of Dragon Quest naysayer, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I've never played
We
Dragon
should
Quest game in my
Yes,
life.
I say.
We should contest. I'm sorry. We should discuss Kingdom Hearts and then give the award to Dragon Quest XI.
No, Kingdom Hearts is fine. I'm looking forward to playing that. I sort of refuse to let myself get hyped for it until it's like a week from release, just
Yeah.
because
That's
it's
honestly
delayed
fair.
again.
because it's been like it's just been like delayed so many times.
Third
It's like-
764 years.
It'll be
It's been 60
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I super like. I want to play it. I want to see how the story ends and everything. But the demo that we played, I had a harder time getting really amped about this demo because we already have the Kingdom Hearts 2.8, like whatever 0.2.
0.2.
Final chapter prologue.
featuring Act
352
One.
no.
Yeah.
surprised you memorized all that, yeah.
No, 2.8 is final chapter prologue. 0.2 is
A fragmentary passage.
Thank you.
Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah, there we go.
Unchained Cheese, the mobile game.
Yeah, so anyway, after playing 0.2 with Aqua, I feel like I got a taste for how Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to play. And of course, like, Sora has a different moveset and stuff. But the combat feels like, it's pretty fundamentally in place.
It's the
maybe-
best version of it so far.
Yeah, like, it's great.
maybe that's what it is, because even though
We already know what it's about.
I'm still looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 more,
Yeah.
it's also looks like what I expected it to be. In a good way.
Yeah, I think it's just less surprising and or, like, I'm more fatigued with the hype cycle for it.
Yeah. Do you think it's
okay,
sensory overload, this E3 having 3 trailers back to back, 2 very
I
similar?
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Pirates trailer that they showed at the
was so
Sony
good.
conference blew me away, but having the 2 similar.
We've already seen Toy Story and screenshots about like a year ago.
And from my understanding, the demo you and Steph got to play is the same demo they had a month ago at their private
Premiere.
conference. So
Yeah,
we'd
yeah.
already
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that kind of oversaturation with it, which is why I kind of felt like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm excited, but Dragon Quest XI I've not had a lot of.
Yeah, that's
And it
fair.
just, you know,
The Dragon
wasn't
Quest
like, oh my
XI
God.
demo was pretty expansive too.
Yeah.
Like they had
It
2
was
different
huge,
scenarios you
yeah.
could do, and a sort of big boss that you could take on that would take up the entire demo allotment. So you had your option for what you wanted to do, and they even kind of guide you into what aspect of that you wanted to take on first.
And Square's gave you a lot of freedom with the way they presented the demo. 'Cause basically, they kind of started with the beginning of the game, or around like the mid section around there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
So
within
yeah,
like
it's
3
okay.
hours.
Yeah, they had 2 save files. You picked one where you were level 1 and one where you were level 16. And you could decide what you want to do in the game. I went to the level 16 one mostly because
Yeah.
I just
all of us did.
I just
We're
want-
RPG fans
Yeah.
here. We're
I
not
wanted to
stuff
just look at
level
people's
1.
skill grids. So I spent about 5 minutes looking at the skill
I didn't
grids
do
for everyone,
that.
and then I went and got
You
into
just
some
went for
random
the
battles.
challenge.
Yeah.
And did
I
you,
just started fighting
Yeah.
them, so I was just like, let's see what happens.
I killed a metal slime.
nice.
Yeah.
Did you encounter any particularly interesting NPCs that you could interact with in any particular way?
Yeah, we didn't do that. At all.
Oh, yeah.
I talked
Oh,
to a couple
yeah.
quest givers, and that was about it for my.
Well, Solosi didn't, I did.
Yeah,
I
but-
just tapped you on the shoulder, didn't I? So Solosi and I
Yeah.
went today, and obviously what you do is if you see animals, you go and talk to them, don't you? So I thought, oh, let's talk to this pet, and you can pet the dogs, which is fantastic.
Game of the year.
Yeah.
Game of the show.
Yeah, but you can also
Yeah,
talk to
use
the
the
cats
story.
and interact with them,
Yeah.
so it's something for everybody.
You can fuss
Family
with the cats
podcast.
and pet the dogs, and they will wag their tails or meow back at you or whatever, and that is awesome.
I love it when games do that.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's
quality of
so
life
good.
feature
Yeah.
because it improves my quality of life when it happens.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've been anticipating Dragon Quest XI for a very long time. Personally, it's like the evolution of Dragon Quest VIII, which is many of our favorite Dragon Quests, and favorite whatever. And it has some like great improvements for the Western version that I think are very exciting, like the sort of overhauled UI. You can dash, which I'm kind of surprised to learn that you couldn't dash before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Full English voice work for a
yeah,
lot of the
Yeah.
and it
dialogue.
had none in Japanese.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
voice work.
It's pretty impressive
So
as
the fact that
well.
they've done all that- and of course it maintains that like Dragon Quest-y flavor. It's like very pan-European.
British, yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of really liked Sylvan.
Sylvano.
Sylvano.
Yeah, that was my
Sylvano, yeah.
I mean, that was my personal big concern about that game because Sylvia, as he is known in the Japanese version, is like the campy kind of effeminate guy circus
Mhm.
performer,
Which
But-
sometimes isn't done very well.
which sometimes isn't done well, right? So I didn't want another Makoto from Enchanted Arms. Are you ready for this?
Oh, need to lie
So-
down.
So we got Sylvano's kind of like I've still got to write an article about this, and I'll probably reuse this phrase, but he's kind of like the Latin lover stereotype from what I get from his characterization so far. So he's kind of like the my.
He's very theatrical.
Oh, yeah. But he's like, yeah, he's fun.
He's fun.
Yeah.
Did you see him do that thing where he does
He
like?
does all his like.
Yeah.
I love that.
If somebody gets
This
confused,
is
to
an
like
audio
he'll
podcast.
literally snap them out of it. So
Yeah.
I think Dragon Quest XI just seems so stupidly polished and like it's so bright and colorful.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
It's a
that's so
happy
nice.
RPG.
The enemy design is probably what gets me the most with it. It is so fun looking. All the
Yeah.
enemies just look a little bit goofy, even the angry ones.
Yep.
It is the right
That's
evolution.
a love with Dragon Quest. All the monsters have so much charm.
Yeah,
Exactly. It is the right evolution for the anime style as well, because you look at like, I don't know, the PS3 had cell shading, but you can't always translate that perfectly well to the PS4, and I think Dragon Quest XI nails Toriyama's
Yeah.
artwork as well as
They
it's
nailed
an
the graphics.
adult style of anime. It's not like pervy or like it doesn't pander to any sense like
Right.
anybody really. It's just
Yeah.
perfectly clean, polished,
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
nice.
we were talking about it before the show, right? About that because I think it's really neat looking at something like Dragon Quest XI, and of course my example is also Final Fantasy XIV. It's like we have artists like Amato and Toriyama that have been doing art for games for a long time, and it's like now games are at the point where like you can actually really translate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, the
And it's
technology.
really cool to see that.
Their technology, or our technology, has caught up to their concept
Yeah.
in a way that's really awesome.
So I would push for that.
So Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't want that guy over there to kill us.
I mean, my feeling is that first and Kingdom Hearts second, but also Sakuna was at the show.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
the
a-
screens and like everything else.
It's so
was
nice.
pretty.
Sakuna, it's been at E3 for a few years now. It was
Yeah.
definitely here last year.
It was here
Yeah.
last year as a video only.
Oh, right, okay. So,
I thought it was playable,
I don't
but it was
so.
Irrelevant.
but it was just the combat. If it was.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But I
They
thought-
showed
The
a
cultivation time too.
last year. They showed a different stage of the game that this year did.
yes.
And they didn't show any of the rice tilling
Yeah.
stuff,
No,
which is cool.
exactly.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of them were nice.
I don't think it's got quite enough polish and maybe enough. I don't know. Dragon Quest has got the following, but Sakuna is impressively made by just 2 people. So
Is it really?
Edelweiss,
Yeah. And they
yeah.
worked on it
So they
for
made
Wow.
somebody.
Yeah.
what-
As-
Who made Astabreed,
That's
which
it.
is quite a name.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, do we think that Valkyria Chronicles 4 would be a contender, Alana?
Oh.
Possibly, but it kind of fits into its own genre, although it's the only strategy
fair, yeah.
RPG we got to play at the show.
It also doesn't really stand much of a
We-
chance when it's like we've already had 3 of these games. We know what they're about.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I
The thing
think
is, though, Dragon
It's not
Quest
really-
had like 9
Yeah,
of them.
sorry.
So.
Yeah.
Steph and I
Yeah.
played Disgaea 1 complete.
there we
strategy
go.
That's more or less
Let's
the same.
discuss those in a bit then.
Oh, we don't even have that category anymore.
Well,
We could re-add it.
yeah.
We take it out most years because there's never more than usually there's just
Like
Disgaea.
ports?
Yeah.
If we
No, for strategy.
Or like just
Oh.
Harmony.
If
You know,
we
Well, they
think
have like
they're
2
worth
this year,
it.
so I don't know about that. Maybe Fire Emblem.
I
this
think
year,
I think there's one.
contenders.
I think there's one category that
Give
we're
it
probably
to
going to
them.
remove.
Anyways.
The Final Fantasy 14 award.
No,
for
no,
best-
But
no,
Fire
the
Emblem
other
players, I
Final
can't talk
Fantasy.
about it.
In the
No,
year of our Lord.
Is well, this is jumping ahead a little bit. I don't think I saw any visual novels or adventure games.
Yeah, neither
There
did I.
wasn't.
I'm not sure.
Well, Access offered us, but we were like, we're here for some other guys.
Yeah, someone came into our appointment and
Yeah.
Jake Hunter was at Axis and they told
Yeah,
us
okay.
literally as we had to go.
Oh.
So, yeah. But can I go back to Sakuna? Because
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
really
yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because it probably made one of the most positive impressions as an E3 newcomer for the whole show. Because lo and behold, I decided to have a bit of a meltdown on Tuesday morning, and everyone was pushing me towards, oh, go and play Sakuna. And I thought, okay, having had an appointment with I had an appointment with Exy booked, and plonked myself in front of the PS4, played Sakuna, and came off with a big smile on my face. So there were 2 playable demos at the show this year. So there was one that was the standard combat level. It was a big waterfall level.
The water was beautiful.
The water
Yes.
is some of the
And the
best
trees.
animated I've ever seen. The visuals, like Dragon Quest, it's more chibi than Dragon Quest, but it's very clean shot, pretty. The trees look gorgeous. The environments look wonderful. The levels are kind of like short snippets of Metroidvania with a big focus on platforming.
It reminded me of Dust and Elysian Tale a little bit.
Yeah, Dust and Muramasa are probably the closer comparisons because of their Japanese kind of style. But what really interested me is that Sakuna, we mentioned it, there was a Tilling Rice video, wasn't there, last year? I think the only way you could see it at the rice side or the farming side of things was through a video.
They didn't show it at all. They
Oh,
just said
I
it
see.
exists.
Yeah, no, they
Ah.
mentioned that she was a harvest goddess and she fought with farm implements, but I don't think we saw anything about that minigame.
No, that's why it was so cool to see this year
Yeah.
and play.
So,
Grab your hoe.
yeah.
And Dosio.
You're such,
Over here, Mike.
you're such a rake.
Oh.
God.
So, yeah, this
It's late and we're getting a bit silly.
Things are getting dicey. That sleeping pill, let me tell you.
Mix with a bit of alcohol, you'll feel great.
yeah.
No, don't talk about
Please
that.
don't.
Just joking.
No, I'm not trying to get crossfaded.
Oh wait, no, that's bad mix.
Yeah.
Did you-
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm
Mistaken
just
then.
waiting for everybody else. Sorry. So the second demo kind of talked you through. There's 7 stages to farming rice. So there is off the top of my head, I should have my page ready. Sorry.
First was like
I got to do
preparing
all
the field.
7 of them.
All 7 of them. So apologies for not being more prepared.
Like, literally
First part was tilling. That was getting rid of the rocks. And,
Yeah. So the first.
Yeah.
Using that.
Softening up the soil.
Yeah.
Wow, you took a lot of notes though. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did too many. Oh.
Is it like the only comparison I really have? Is it like Harvest Moon esque, or is it a bit more intuitive or different?
No, so
No,
the
not
7
really.
stages are tilling, which is where you stuff on the soil, planting, which is where you plant the seeds, weeding, which is where you remove the rocks, harvesting, where you scythe the rice, drying the rice, then you thresh the rice, and then you tull it. So, no, compare it to Harvest Moon is probably
not enough at all.
No, it's pretty in depth. So
Yeah.
basically, there are day and night cycles that go by as well, and seasons. So the demo gave you all 7 steps at once, but you will never need to do all 7 steps at once. So the idea is you'll go out and till your field, and then you'll wait until it's completely ready. Go out.
Go and battle.
Yeah, go and battle. Come back and do the next step.
So is it side scrolling?
Yes,
Yes.
scrolling.
Yeah.
So Metroidvania-esque, but in smaller stages.
But the rice mini
the
game
rice
is
tilling,
like
it's 3D.
it's like in a
okay,
grid.
that's what I was wondering. I was like, how do you mix that?
Yeah, so those bits
Yeah.
are 3D.
Okay.
But it's just really cute and really relaxing. Like, there are benefits to doing it as well. So there's 2 different types of rice you'll get, and obviously they'll vary on quality depending on how well you plant them, how close together they are, and how soft you make the soil, etc. But you can pound the rice really fast, and you'll get white rice, I believe, and white rice will give you. It's basically like regen when you're out in the field. So it will gradually restore your health, and it will also give you stat benefits like higher attack, higher defense, etc. You can also make brown rice, and that will improve Sakana's stats permanently, but it will also spread her influence across this island that she lives on. So Sakana is the goddess of harvesting and rice, and she has lots of subjects to tend to. So the more brown rice she eats, basically, or the more brown rice she grows, the more influence she will get. So we're not quite sure how that's going to affect the game, but basically, in the short term, I think it's stat boost, but in the long term, I believe it will be expanding your farm out and maybe getting more subjects. So there's a lot more to it than it seems, and I like the way that it doesn't feel like it's tacked on, like it's quite a vital part of the main game, but yeah, Sakana was really cute, and I really, really liked it. It's left a positive impression.
Yeah, I played this morning. It was quite nice.
It was very cheerful and beautiful, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's literally the only thing I played on the show floor.
Aww.
Well, there's no line for it, which is kind of a crime.
Yeah.
Is there
I like the many steps to rice growth, and you can like screw it up somehow. Like, for example, the game told me that I planted my rice too far apart, so I was like, oh no, I screwed up my rice.
Me too.
Yeah, same here.
So it looks like actually
So
we're
it's
pretty thorough with, in depth with the rice growing bit.
Oh yeah, it's
right.
definitely in
Yeah.
depth. So I figure you could probably like learn by trial and error how to like.
Harvest Moon definitely
Grow.
simplifies it. It's just like plant, water,
Yeah.
harvest. Yeah.
Is there a release date?
We've got winter 2018 at the moment, so
Okay.
end of the year, hopefully. That's what Xseed would like.
Cool. So not too far out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say that's probably still worth discussing later as maybe runner-up, possibly, but...
Yeah.
Well, the next category is action RPG.
Oh!
Well, there you go.
I mean, but Kingdom Hearts
The
counts
Dragon,
too.
the Dragon Quest wins this JRPG, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dragon Quest doesn't count for
I think
action.
we
Oh,
agree.
Down there.
I mean, there was Pokemon, but I guess we could only discuss.
I would like to put forward a game that I believe some people have went to see today, Indivisible.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
who
was it?
got to see that?
I think it's still a
Liz?
little
Liz?
bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turner?
I
Yeah.
got to see Indivisible today, and
Okay. How did you
It's
feel
very
about
cute.
it?
I felt I gave it a best of E3 nominee shield. I
Nice.
feel like I was
Yeah.
fairly positive on the experience.
It's
It
nice
looks-
because it doesn't seem like Trice is really interested in doing the Valkyrie profile thing right now, so it's good that others are kind of taking the reins. And you
Absolutely.
also played Super Nintendo.
Super Neptunia. Super Neptunia also takes a lot of kind of cues from Valkyrie profile.
Right.
Hmm.
So it seems like everyone's doing Valkyrie profile except for Trice.
Yeah.
So,
This-
tell me about Invisible briefly if we're going to consider it for action RPG.
Okay, yeah, you play as a young girl named Asuna, and you basically have to save your village from a fairly evil force that's coming across the land. Fairly standard fare. The difference being is that it's, I think, entirely hand-drawn.
Yes.
And every single one of the sprites and allies that you gain, all 25 of them, are hand-drawn. All of their animations are hand-drawn. And
It recently got delayed because there's so much to do with that.
Absolutely.
It takes so long, and it's a
Oh,
real
yeah.
labor of love. But I mean, look how Skullgirls turned out. That game is
I'm going to
gorgeous.
say same developer, right?
Yeah, same developer.
Skullgirls is amazing.
Skullgirls has amazing animations.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's
Big
it's
ass.
definitely worth it. They could have opted for 3D and probably have maybe had it done by now, but no, the hand-drawn look is just really selling it. I think it's a real good selling point for that game.
And the combat system was smooth.
Yeah.
It was very much akin to, as you guys were saying, Valkyrie Profile.
They're really big fans of fighting games, so they like to have that fine-tuning. So I
Mhm.
think this is actually a very good fit for the kind of Metroidvania RPG.
Absolutely. And there was a numerical combo system where I'm blanking on the word. Damage. Total damage that you get when you complete a combo. When you can attack. Man, my words are
Turn order or
no,
It's all button press, right?
it's all
It's time
time button presses, and then the enemy attacks you. You get an indicator, and then you can choose to block. Which
okay.
So, like, if you knock them up and your other guy goes into attack, they might miss because,
Yeah.
because they're just not there to
It's,
attack.
it's about like mastering the animation times and having them attack
Basically, yeah.
at a certain timing to maximize your combo.
Yes.
It's like
It's
Valkyrie.
like
It's like
Profile.
Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah.
has a lot of stylistic and mechanical cues for fighting games,
Hmm.
which I think works to their advantage as a studio. I imagine.
Yeah, right off the heels of Skullgirl. and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they classify it as a Metroidvania as well as like an action RPG. But I guess the thing besides the hand-drawn animation that I loved the most was the fact that it felt so polished and so smooth
Oh,
in
did
terms
it?
of moving. Yeah, it was extremely precise.
Yeah.
When I wanted to move somewhere in like side-scrolling or moving around, I didn't have to do it 1, 2, 3 times. It happened immediately. All jumping, dashing, sliding. It just felt so fun and smooth to go around the environment and try and find collectibles, things that would upgrade your abilities, finding new companions.
And quick fun fact: those who like Secret of Mana music, it does have the same composer.
Yeah,
so-
Kikuta, back in the house.
the whole soundtrack.
I think they got to a Kickstarter level where they got him to do a shitload of bunch of music.
Yeah.
That's
That's much music.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All
All right,
right.
so we have Indivisible.
Mhm.
We maybe have your game.
There's no East this year, so
No
Kingdom
No
Hearts.
East.
Oh yeah, no, we
There's
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts and there's Bloodstained.
Yes.
Action RPG is a tricky category because there's
It
so
is.
many of them now.
I have one I'd like to discuss, but maybe for a later category, if that's okay.
Oh,
We're not in that category.
It's a category that's not on your list, and I thought we might add it.
Well, let's figure out Action RPG.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't get to. The only games that I got to actually play hands on the show floor were unfortunately Dragon Quest 11, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Mega Man 11. So tell
Mega
me where
Man
I can
11
slot Mega Man 11 in.
Perfect.
Mega Man 11 is the winner.
Perfect
Yeah.
action RPG. Got it.
Yep.
No, yeah.
Mega
so
Man Legend 3.
It's hard to say. I wish.
I will say that Kingdom Hearts is incredibly polished. It feels good. It looks incredible, and it looks like it's going to really deliver something.
I
great.
agree.
It does suck that we're a little bit fatigued and just kind of a little tired, just being without it for so long, and finally catching up. I don't know. This is a really weird category to actually award, though, because I think we want to say Kingdom Hearts 3, but at the same time, we really don't.
They're also different.
yeah.
Sorry.
I say Bloodstained.
Bloodstained.
Oh, Bloodstained.
Oh yeah, was that there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, I
Played it
didn't
this
see.
morning.
Well, if you had an appointment.
Sorry.
No, I mean only
Yeah,
they
I
saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I don't think it was available publicly, but it was available.
It
on
wasn't
Xbox.
public.
Yes.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
weird because there was a public demo the past 2 years. I played it once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they were like very busy, so
Did you play it?
yeah,
Good.
yeah. It felt and looked great. Like it had really awesome music, and I actually have not played the earlier demos, but it felt very Symphony of the Night-ish in the controls, and it was very smooth. It was,
Yeah.
And we got like a little bit of the story as well. So I guess the main character has been asleep for like 10 years or so.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I know, right? I could sleep for 10 years right now.
Appropriate.
But I would miss my flight.
And then some.
So for this demon invasion from like 10 years ago, only she and some other guy survived it, and the other guy is the antagonist, so that's fun.
Oh.
So I got to read the story, do a couple boss battles, that kind of thing. It was
Oh, more than one boss battle.
I didn't quite actually get to the other one. It's there,
Okay,
but
cool.
I spent so long in the first boss battle that I didn't have time for the second one. And they said that no one's ever finished both boss battles in the same demo sitting. That was my goal, but I didn't get there.
I'm certainly eager to continue that after playing the excellent Curse of the Moon.
Me too.
Yeah, that was
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna delve into like the full sort of Bloodstained experience. I mean, I take your word for it. I love Symphony of the Night, and if this is appropriately channeling it, then like I'm all for it. I didn't get to play it, so.
I played the first release of the Indivisible demo, so I'm just gonna go off that and say that's my vote because I'm so anticipating something Valkyrie Profile-esque. That's one of my favorite games ever. So I mean, the fact that they're willing to kind of take their wins on that, I think it's sweet.
Indivisible looks amazing. I would support it winning over Kingdom Hearts 3, but I think that's probably our top 2, right? But I mean, I really like Shadows Awakening, but that's I don't think it contends.
Does Sakuna count as this category or?
Yeah, but none of these games let you kill Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go for Sakuna.
Kill Rice.
What's your thinking, Ellen?
I think it goes for action, definitely.
It does. For sure it does.
I'm inclined to go with Sakuna over Indivisible myself.
Really?
Yeah. It just seems more my style, but I don't know.
I'm more likely to be out beforehand.
Yeah, I mean...
In the nicest way.
Yeah, I don't know what Indivisible is.
Both seem to have
If it's between the two, I would also say Sakurai.
Maybe.
As someone who's trying
So
both
maybe we could put Kingdom Hearts 3 under JRPG, and then like Sakuna and Indivisible in some order for action RPG.
Sakuna is winner and
I think
Indivisible is
Sakuna's
runner-up. Because just from what you guys are saying,
I could get behind that, yeah.
Yeah, sounds
And
good.
then Kingdom Hearts runner-up for JRPG, and then... Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Now, while we're still talking
And we're
about...
saying Indivisible is runner-up for action?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll take it.
Now, I'd like to talk about a category that's not on Mike's list, but it is related to what we just discussed. I played a couple games with some truly inspiring mini games attached. So I propose a best mini game category with Sakura's rice farming as a contender. But my personal winner being the completely amazing drink mixing mini game in Hokuto no Ken Lost Paradise.
Where you gotta like shake it up using the
controller. Yeah. You shake a drink using the controller, or make an ice cube for it, or stir it vigorously. He does it faster and faster, and in Fist of the North Star fashion. Then he slides it towards the customer, says, "You are already drunk." and then you get some bonus from the customer for it. But it was the hardest I've ever laughed at a mini game. And also in the booth right next to it in Yakuza 6, there is a peeing mini game where you try to accurately stream into a urinal for some bonus.
Sounds like Yakuza.
I don't know.
I'm more of a curiosity. I now need to play to know this experience.
That's Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the remake of Yakuza 2 in the Yakuza 6 engine. And Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise is also in the Yakuza 6 engine. And both of them were a total delight to play, and I messed around with a few mini games in each of them. But
a peeing mini game.
Yeah, it was
really?
less fun than the drink mixing mini game. And there's also a baseball mini game in Fist of the North Star where you take a giant steel beam and whack bikers off that are charging at you. And see how far they go flying if you hit them accurately.
Are you sure this is the Saints Row that you're talking about?
If you've not played Yakuza, it is like the best kept secret right
but
now.
Fist of the North Star has those two things. Plus, you can run a medical clinic, work as a bouncer or nightclub owner. In a sort of a non-canon town in the middle of the Mad Max inspired wasteland of Fist of the North Star. The Yakuza team really captured the drama and the ridiculousness of Fist of the North Star, and I'm really excited to play it. So
wait, what was it that we said at dinner? It's like serious men doing
ridiculous things as a description of Yakuza the series, and Fist of the North Star with that design philosophy is just ratchets it up to a whole new level. So my suggestion is that we add a best minigame category with the Sakuna rice farming and one of the Fist of the North Star minigames.
Drink mixing or whatever.
Yeah, drink mixing.
I'm happy with that.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
The jury abides.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess it'll take.
Jury abides.
I guess it'll take the place of the visual novel category this year, right?
Right. Sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So which one's first?
I would vote for Fist of the North Star, but if people are more into Sakuna, I'm not gonna argue. Both of them are really cool.
Yeah, it's getting another war. I said the drink one sounds fun.
All right.
As intricate as that rice doing. I don't think so.
How many categories do we have left?
Half of them. So we probably should get going.
Sorry.
Are we
Speed
doing?
round.
Are we doing?
Speed round.
Are we doing sleeper hit?
Oh,
Is-
I don't know.
Cyberpunk 2077. Okay.
Sleeper.
I think we've already
That
discussed
sort of
most of
get-
the sleeper.
That sort of feels like another category for Sakuna, funny enough.
I
But,
think
Yeah.
so. I think so
because
too.
I mean,
Sad.
really, like literally, we nobody's out there playing it on the show floor, and it's like,
I'll say Adventure Time for runner up just because I think it's a nice treat for a lot of fans, and the Wind Waker Inspiration is
I'm
pretty
also
sweet.
going for Little Dragon's Cafe for that.
Shoot, that too, yeah.
That's a good one. I would support
are you
Shadows Awakening
sure?
for that.
Does that actually look good?
Oh,
Little Dragon's Cafe, I love
Yeah.
it. I actually gave it my shield.
I gave Shadows
I'm
Awakening
really
one of my
wary,
2 shields.
It
You
looks
too.
a little low
One
budget,
of
but it
my
looks like it'll
two.
be fun.
Yeah.
Does it feel like
It's
decent
got its
quality?
audience.
Yeah, well, the build house is a little rough.
Oh.
They're, like the PS4 version anyway had a couple of like control issues, but other than that, no, I really enjoyed my time with
Is
it.
the concept that really intrigued?
It's a concept that's intriguing, and also the in-depth way they go into how you run your cafe,
Right.
And-
Okay.
the kind of way you use your dragon to like explore the world.
I'm gonna need to see more on that because I remain very skeptical of it. Does anybody remember Hometown Story?
I know, but I assume there's a
Exactly.
reason. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember it, but I was like, it didn't have like that kind of pull right away. It felt like just another Harvest Moon game. It just
This is
just,
different.
just a little
Yeah.
different, yeah. So, but this one you have a dragon. I was like, it's so cute and adorable.
Points for the dragon.
yes.
Would
I
you?
think it's just enhanced games, just in general, I believe.
So
I mean, we also don't have to do the category.
True.
What category was this again?
Sleeper hit.
Oh, right. No. We discussed
Sakuna.
other
no,
ones.
yeah,
Sakuna.
Yeah, Sakuna and then LDC.
Little Dragon's Cafe.
Living
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm the only person that supports Shadows for this, but I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
It's number one in my
Your
heart.
voice is on the. Your voice has been heard, so the people of the page will know.
It'll be on
You
your
got
first.
your drink mixing category, okay?
Okay.
It'll be on your
I'm,
first.
I'm basically done for the night now.
You provided the Ruth Bader Ginsburg dissenting opinion.
Boy, oh boy.
Thank you, Steph.
The you're already drunk is automatically wins.
You're already drunk.
I need to find a good image of that just to have on me at all times.
Next category.
I looked at a couple categories because sometimes we add stuff just for a year. In 2016, we did a coolest concept. I'm not sure if we had one this year. If it was worth bringing back.
Rice Gully.
2016.
In 2016, we did that for Vampire and Pyre because we thought it was funny that to have 2 similarly named answers win a
Yeah.
category.
I don't think
Both of those are actually out by now. But
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm. So
I don't know,
Vampire
concept. I don't know that anything. is
Skyrim on
like,
Alexa.
I mean,
I mean,
doesn't the idea of
we talk about the Pokeball Plus, I guess.
doesn't the idea of unique concept and sleeper hit kind of go hand in hand?
They kind of do.
Yeah, I would
This
say
year
I would say
especially.
cut coolest concept.
Yeah, that's cool.
okay, it's out of here.
Okay. We usually do a best booth.
Okay,
That's-
no, that's
that-
worth doing.
Yeah,
That's
I
worth
agree.
doing.
I agree. Mhm.
Well,
Whether
I did
wh-
not like
Cherry
Atlas
Tree.
this year.
I give
No,
you. I give you
yeah,
several
yeah.
worse booths.
Yeah, me
Easy.
too.
Atlas and Sega.
Atlas Sega needed 4 times the space
Yeah,
for what they were
Atlas
trying
Sega
to
was
do.
bad. I thought Square Enix was kind of bad.
They're
Yeah, it wasn't the
using
best.
it.
it was
It was
not
big,
the
but it
best
wasn't the
layout.
best. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Yeah,
like
it's
weirdly
just-
walled off and kind of hard to get to different things.
I do give them points for the cherry tree and the Final Fantasy 14 trial
looked
area.
nice.
No, it was
That
very
really
pretty.
cool.
It was nice, but it's kind of weird how they sectioned out both their sections because they have both sides of the
Yeah.
island.
I'm
By the way,
struggling-
go to our Instagram page if you want to see what it looks like.
I'm
Yeah.
struggling to
The-
think of a booth I really liked.
The Tomb Raider
No.
section was cool to look
That
at.
was
Nexus
cool,
is
yeah.
good.
Namco's was pretty spacious, the outside
Yeah.
bit. It was
That was
like
nice,
an
yeah.
ideal
Yeah.
version of Square Enix.
Okay, I think Capcom's was pretty good.
They were.
Well, Capcom's nice with Resident Evil display.
Yeah,
and the wall of Mega Man history.
Yes, and they had like the wall of
They
do that a lot,
Legacy
it's
stuff,
great.
and then the Mega Man 10 thing with the standee. Oh yeah, I mean, Square Enix one highlight was Steph and I did get to go take a picture with the Dragon Quest,
it's
like
adorable.
cutouts and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I took a picture of that one too.
At the Capcom booth, you could take a picture with a ruined Raccoon City police car and some zombies.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I thought Capcom's booth was nice, and I did not go there. Nor do I have any particular endorsement for it, but I heard from a friend that the Fortnite booth was really cool.
That one was
'Cause
nice.
he said,
Nice.
I don't know, but I heard it was really
yeah,
cool.
he said
Really
really he
good
doesn't
noise.
even care about Fortnite, but they had like drinks, and it was just like really well laid
that's
out
good.
and brightly
Oh, apparently
lit.
it's gotten like 2 million downloads
And-
from Nintendo
Wow.
Switch. Yeah, it's just kept
I'm so
cleaning.
tired of hearing that.
Touch it.
I also think that Nintendo had the potential to be great because I loved all of those sort of artifacts,
They're
like
huge screens.
the Smash. Well, I was thinking like all
The
like the
weapons.
That was
Smash.
made for the
Yeah,
Smash
life-size
art.
I
Monado.
loved that. Yeah.
Me
Oh my god,
too.
the Monado replica. I will go to jail over that thing.
Yeah.
There was so much great stuff in there, but it was packed.
It's
I couldn't
packed.
see
Yeah.
anything.
Right next to the Monado replica was a giant Kirby hammer that just looked perfect.
Dude.
Yeah.
That was too. Yeah.
Oh, and Bayonetta's boots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was cool. One thing I hated is like if you even look at anything funny, the attack
Yeah,
dogs
hover.
will like just like, what are you doing here? Like it was just, it kind of feels like it's trying to be friendly and at the same time like it's just too much.
Yeah.
It was, I think, just the volume of attendees in Nintendo's booth is what made it a problem.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean,
Well,
I
the-
can't wait for Pokemon now, right?
The design wasn't great.
Yeah.
Sony, not to pick on Sony, but
I
man,
thought XE was great actually.
So, does Sony even have a booth? I don't
It was a
remember.
little small and a bit
Out-
tiny.
outside of the VR game, Sony had 3 games, and it was like really shockingly like.
I didn't get to see
nothing.
any.
No,
they,
I
had
was-
they had like a theater area, and I was just like, what is this?
I liked
Yeah.
XE though. They had playable demos. They even had a little
Mhm.
storefront as well. So I thought, you know, it was
Yeah.
small and sweet.
XE was cool.
Exceed always has a good booth,
Always.
and this year was unusually good for them too.
I thought it was a little bit small and cramped.
It was small, but they also didn't have
personally.
like the volume anyway, so it almost didn't matter.
When we went for our appointment, it was very busy.
And
so-
sorry guys, yeah, no Cold Steel 3 appeared.
No.
Yeah.
That was
Sorry.
a bummer.
I think
Nintendo was a bummer
Capcom-
to me because usually
Yeah.
the booths are really, really
I would
spacious.
agree.
And this one was absolutely not.
I'm
That's the problem with Smash Bros. Too, because
I think they
drew
still
a
Yeah,
have
they
huge
took up a lot of
crowd.
space.
Yeah. They still have the biggest floor plan I think available for them,
Yeah.
so
I
they're
think-
popular.
Yeah.
Bethesda's
They want
was
20 million Switch
huge.
sales this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bethesda's was big this year.
Yeah, Bethesda's was big.
I mean, I
wanted
didn't-
to throw it.
I didn't go in it.
I didn't go in
I would go with Capcom, which incidentally is what we gave it to last year.
But
I
I think I like
Capcom did
Capcom's.
I think
yeah,
Capcom.
Capcom's last year was really good. They had a big Street Fighter history wall instead of a Mega Man one, and they had an amazing Monster Hunter World display.
For a very
I
historical
wanted more
game
Devil May
company,
Cry
they
though,
like
again.
putting it
Oh,
on.
yeah, Devil May
Yeah.
Cry.
I would say
Or
like
Double
Capcom
Trigger.
first, and then runner up. Either you guys feel pretty strongly about Exceed, or like I don't know. I liked Nintendo's a lot. It was just too hard to navigate. So
I
I
thought-
Yeah.
I thought
I
Square
like the
Enix was pretty
idea.
good.
Yeah, I like.
I didn't. I really
I-
didn't. I liked what
I
they
just-
had
I
on
just like the
display.
Nintendo
I
Switch.
didn't
I
like the
like
It
route.
was very hard to navigate.
I would put Namco or Capcom first, personally.
Capcom.
Capcom
Capcom.
first.
Capcom, yeah.
Capcom.
They usually have pretty good booths.
Yeah, they're,
They just
Okay.
need to have a sales section for all the cool figures they got on display. It's so
Yeah.
infuriating.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Sure.
Also, I did get to see a pretty cool presentation talking about the FF14 Monster Hunter World crossover with the producers of each game on stage,
Oh, nice.
chumming out.
It was in like the Square Enix Live Presents booth thing.
No,
On Tuesday.
no. It was Tuesday near the end of the day, and Yoshida joined the Monster Hunter World presenter at the Capcom booth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was literally there.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I guess we can hash out runner up later.
That's true. I mean, unless we want to give it to Konami.
Okay, slow down. All right, moving
All right,
on.
thank you.
Was Konami even there? I don't think.
I think that
I saw a
They-
person wearing a Konami shirt.
they had a meeting room. I think.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But no booth. So I don't think they have anything.
Well, do they even show erotic Pachi slot action games at E3?
Yeah, but those are only available on the visual displays for their exercise bikes at their health clubs.
Makes so much sense.
We
Capcom was our favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
you could
mean,
say-
as a Capcom fanboy, I support this, but I'm a little surprised.
No, but Capcom seriously had a great booth.
Yeah, they did.
They
they
did.
just had a lot of cool things to see. They had
They
the,
did,
things, the
yeah.
Mega Man display.
And they're good about their booth design.
Mhm.
Like, it's not too.
That's important. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So you could
Are-
say, oh, sorry. You went, oh.
Are we doing biggest franchise milking again?
Oh.
Last year it was Skyrim. This year would probably
Wow.
Skyrim. The fact that I called my boyfriend and he called the Elder Scrolls 6 Skyrim 6 kind of says it all.
It's perpetuated like the game of consciousness all over the world at this point.
They're aware of it and they joke about it, but they're still doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Scarlet
it's still true, but like it's less funny this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we don't have.
Acknowledge the meme.
I would just
No,
say,
I would
just
mean
say
like the
type of
award. I mean, the
category.
award was like clever and funny last year, but like I wouldn't do it again just to do it.
Right, which is why we're not doing the Final Fantasy 14 award this
For
year.
fun,
Yeah.
for MMOs named Final Fantasy.
Hey, that was a cool fight.
It was a cool fight.
How many times did you try it?
3.
Did you ever win?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stubborn doing it.
You got the
Nice.
shirt?
Yeah. I needed like more than like 2 Final Fantasy 14 players in my party to get it. Go figure.
Nice. All right, what's our next category?
Well, the last category is overall, unless there was some other
Dragon
category
Quest.
we wanted to throw in.
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
I support.
Bloodstained.
I support Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
I have no strong
Quest.
feelings.
I'm the only
either
person that
way.
played Bloodstained, so.
I would love to agree because I think that game looks great, but I don't know.
I know. It's hard.
Devil May Cry
Dragon
5.
Quest.
What about
My Devil
Inside joke.
But what about Cyberpunk?
That'll be the award to add song of the show. Or, yeah, song of the show.
Yeah,
Devil Trigger.
Devil Trigger.
Runner-up, fast food song.
It.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have like Game Hall where only one person playing
Yeah.
each. So
Such a brilliantly catchy song.
It's terrible. Why would they do that? Dragon Quest 11 runner-up Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
I mean, you only have my word to go for it, but it was
Bloodstained.
pretty cool, guys.
It's a
Hard to
was
trust
pretty-
that given the people behind it and the concept and the level of.
There's been
whatever.
nothing
I feel like
positivity
that-
radiating around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may have been like the cleanest and most quickly agreed upon game of the show discussion we've ever had. But like the categories were a bunch of them like game of the show. That one, okay.
Alright,
I
it's
mean,
a wrap.
everyone that went near it loved it. So
It's
Yeah.
so good.
It was played so well.
Man, I wanted to try out the they have the more dynamic battle system that you can toggle on.
Yeah.
That lets you actually
Oh, yeah,
free
I should
run
try
around.
I'm ambivalent for the series, and I'll still say, yeah, sure.
Wait, Alana, didn't you try that?
You did. I liked it a
Did you
lot.
try the
Yeah,
free run
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah. I think it
Sorry.
No, it sort of reminded me vaguely of Final Fantasy 12, even though you're still entering commands at your own pace. But in 12, it's sort of like, yeah, you can move around. It doesn't do anything, but you can do it to be like, woo.
It's just nicer.
Yeah, I like to do that.
I think it adds visual interest, even though it doesn't really affect anything, and it's totally up to preference whether you like the the enemies facing each other or the sort of crowd mix it up version.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It also reminds me a little bit of like Wild Arms 3 and Ultra Code F, how they would like run around the enemies in circles, but also didn't
Oh yeah, that's
matter.
right. You could just move around. I totally
Yeah.
spaced on what you
Well,
guys
they
were
like
talking
they did it
about.
automatically, but
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, I think it sounds like most of us can come to a consensus that Dragon Quest XI was an excellent showing. We're all very enthusiastic about it, and I do think.
Newbies,
that
what
it
did you guys think of E3?
Yeah.
Fun. E3 was fun.
Yeah.
Go. Sum it up.
That, in fact, was Trent the entire time. Can
Yeah, well, I mean, we did have, we have Nathan from Canada, we have Trent from Australia, and we have Alana from Britain. So it's like three people, all new to E3 and all from different countries. So, sorry that you had to come to LA. But, full offense intended to LA because I don't like the city. But,
It's not bad. I don't know. I've only been here for like 4 days. So who knows?
yeah.
I think it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
E3.
it's raw.
There is a hell of it. You need bring some headphones because you will need like time on your own.
Yeah.
It's been really fun though. Like the people make it. Really, that's it. That's what I'll say. The people make it, and
Seeing people laugh when I said the people is what made E3 great.
exactly. And people's enthusiasm makes it. Like I don't want to end on a downer, but there's been a lot of negativity over the last couple of weeks in the industry and the press, and it's just nice to have a group of people to be positive around. So
Well, despite a lot of our kind of back and forth thing, I thought this was a really great E3 showing. I was impressed by a lot of the titles. Yeah.
I thought so as well.
There's a lot of like nice surprises that lots of good smaller games that are kind of under the radar.
Yeah, no, I thought this was great. So, I mean, yeah, it's so easy to throw out a negative opinion, and it's so much, more quote-unquote interesting to be negative than it is to be positive about things. But for the most part, I love this E3. I thought it was great.
But yeah. I think being positive is the way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
So next year we're just going to be called Super Smash Brothers fan because that was like the biggest game of the show.
Yeah, I know. It sort of really takes some steam out of RPG fan when, yeah. It's all
I thought you were a Devil Trigger fan.
And Devil
Peach.
So game of the show, Devil May Cry 5, runner-up, Devil Trigger.
That was so good.
Can we like notify like what the main word is for each year at E3? So definitely Devil Trigger is this year. Scorpio was 2 years ago.
And Peach Beach was last year.
Peach Beach was last year.
Yes.
Peach.
None of this is
Peach.
none of this is gonna make any sense to anyone listening.
No.
Our biggest fans will.
It's true, like
Mike.
Wooten.
Like Mike?
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
God bless Mike.
What a good guy.
This is for you, Mike.
Yeah, shout
Love you.
out to Mike, good buddy, listener of the podcast, who got to come to E3 again this year and spend some time with us and graced us with a bunch of really cool like books and things. Great guy. So big shout out to you. Round of applause for Mike. Yeah. I hope you're listening. I hope you have your night made. Also, we forgot to give the Good Boy Award for Good Boys to the Ragnarok hat from Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
Elena literally
It's
has
very
a
cute.
hat of a dog wearing a hat, so
It's pretty meta.
yeah,
Pretty
it's
meta. I feel quite powerful.
You look quite powerful when you wear it, yeah.
It's cute.
He's adorable. Well, I think that will probably do it for this special E3 2018 episode of Random Encounter. If you like the show, please consider listening to it through the RSS feed or subscribing via iTunes. You can leave us a review on iTunes as well. That would be super cool. Or you can write us some fan mail at podcast@rpgfan.com. And I did specifically say fan mail because I don't want anything but fan mail. No negative opinions here. No criticism. No. We really appreciate you all tuning in. Oh, and I was your host, Derek Ginsbergen. You can follow me on Twitter at EmbryoNX. That's at EMBRYONX. And everybody else has Twitters too. I don't know if you all want to go into sharing it.
It's on the staff page.
Yeah, so you can get it on the staff page. So I just decided to show because I have the authority to do that. So thank you for tuning in. We hope you send us some mail. We hope to hear from you on the Discord, etc. And let us know what your top picks for E3 2018 are as well. Thanks for listening. For Trent, Alana, Mike, Nathan, Steph, Liz, and Jeff. And
there is a boat named Jeff in the Adventure Time RPG.
There is a boat named Jeff. And for that boat named Jeff, we thank you for listening, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye. Until next year.
Devil Trigger.
Devil
Trigger.
Devil
Chrono Trigger.